I am turning 30 this month. I don't know how I feel about that. Hey guys, it's Leia again. I'm here back in the flesh again. I don't know why I'm doing that. I will be 30 this month and I want to start a series that lasts throughout August about life in your 20s. This is the first installment of that series. I hope to bring you like little pep talks and anecdotes, probably a couple of funny things here and there if I can swing it, possibly collaborations with personal friends of mine, just talking about life in your 20s and lessons that you learned in your 20s. We'll see where this goes. We'll see where it takes us. We'll just go with the flow with this one, shall we? So for this first video, I really want to talk about finding your voice. I feel like it's an appropriate first video in the series because not only is it something huge that happens in your 20s where you're really trying to figure out, who am I? What do I like? Is this what I really want? I also mentioned in my most recent video, which was my first video in 2 years, that I stepped away for 2 years to find my voice. So I just feel like this is, it's a good, it works. So that's what we're gonna talk about. What to say about your 20s? There's a lot to say. We could talk about the nights we stayed up contemplating what we were doing with our lives. We could talk about the moments that we still look back on and cringe because we were just like, why did I say that thing? Why did I do that thing? Why? Could you not have just been normal? Why? Or the things that we still guilt trip ourselves for even though it was literally 10 years ago and the other person probably doesn't even remember anymore. We could even talk about the friendships we've made, the relationships we've built, the things that we've accomplished, the spaces we've been a part of, the people that have helped us grow, the lessons we've learned. There's so many things that we could talk about, but we're gonna talk about all of them, or at least as many of them as 30 days will allow, because again, this is just for August. I'm not really equipped to tell you how to find your voice. I'm still kind of figuring that out myself. I'm definitely a lot further along than I was at the beginning of my 20s. And there's definitely a lot that I'm very sure of and is like solid. Like there's no breaking that. There's some things that I'm very sure of. And then there's some things where I'm just like, I'm not, I don't know. We just gonna have to wait it out and see where I stand with that. I'm just gonna tell you why you should, because I can talk about that. The reason why you should start the process of finding your voice in your 20s is because it will play a role in every single experience that you will have, particularly in your 20s. All of the decisions you make around the things that happen to you in your 20s are gonna be that much easier, I promise you, because no one can tell you otherwise, and you are confident in what you believe and why you do the things you do and why you've made the decisions you've made. And honestly, that's fucking priceless. There's no other way to describe it. It's priceless. But I also don't want you to think if you haven't found your voice, you're not gonna have a good time in your 20s. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, definitely work on it. If it takes a long time, that's fine, but don't wait. Because if you wait, you're still gonna take a long time and now you've just elongated how long it's gonna take. I hope that wasn't confusing. It definitely plays a role in how you're able to handle things, and it makes things a little more bearable. I'm hesitant to use the word bearable because then it kind of sounds like your 20s is this horrible thing, and it's not. It's just challenging. And so it makes the challenges a little bit less daunting. I'm gonna give you some advice on some exercises that could help point you in the right direction. I've found a big way to find your voice is to get quiet. When you're alone, you have some alone time, get quiet and ask yourself some questions. You know, have a conversation with yourself. Is what I'm thinking actually me talking, or is this someone else's narrative? Is this an influencer I saw that I really like? Is this someone who told me I would never be anything? Do I really believe what I'm thinking right now? Are the things that I'm telling myself actually true? Is what I'm thinking right now aligned with how I want to feel? How can I make them align with how I want to feel? Is what I'm thinking aligned with how I want to portray myself to the world and who I want to be as a person? How is my gut responding to my thoughts right now? What is it doing, feeling, or saying when I think these thoughts? Is it a good thing? Or do I feel gross or sick or uneasy or strange or like something's wrong? Your gut will never lead you wrong. It will never lead you wrong. That is my personal belief. I know a lot of people aren't really fond of getting quiet. It's hard work. Like, your 20s is hard and doing the work is hard, but I can say that doing the work is really worth it. All the things you have to decide on and do in your 20s to try and reach adulthood, they're gonna be a little easier to handle. You'll have a bit of a clearer thought process if you get in the process of doing these types of reflections, and if you have some bit of idea of what your voice is, it will influence everything you do, because you'll know who you are, or at the very least you'll have a little semblance of an idea of who you are. You'll just be better off for it. You will have a better idea of how to handle them, how you want to handle them, because no one solution is right for everybody. Those are my thoughts on your voice. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please subscribe, because I'm going to be posting videos all month about your 30s. Please share, please like, please comment. I would greatly appreciate it. I will see you in the next video. It just started raining. Very hard. Anyways, I will see you in the next video about getting to your 30s and life in your 20s. All right, bye. Anyways, let me go back to my notes here. You'll know who you are, or what was the other one? Wow. Or you'll, let me look at my notes. Or you'll start to, or Jesus fuck, you'll have a little semblance of an idea of who you are, or at the very least